Level 1, the applicant. It's 1988. You fill out a paper application at the county building. High school diploma, no felony record, clean driving history. A background check runs on you, your family, your neighbors. You take a physical fitness test, a psych evaluation, a two-step TB test, a drug screen. They check that you can wear a gas mask without panicking. 8 weeks later, a letter comes. Report to the academy. Level 2, the recruit. 8 weeks, Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 8:30. Physical training every morning before the classroom. You sit through law, use of force policy, inmate rights, key control. You learn what a Tier 1 write-up is versus a Tier 3. You get maced in the face on purpose, so you know what it feels like before you ever deploy it on someone else. You run cell extraction drills on a mock cell with 3 other recruits playing the inmate. You qualify on the range if you'll ever pull tower duty. Not everyone finishes. You do. You graduate in a gym with folding chairs, and your dad tells you it's a steady-state job with a pension, and he's not wrong, and he's not entirely right either. Level 3, the rookie. They call you a cowboy behind your back. Your first post is a general population cell block, 400 men, 2 officers on the floor. You learn count. 4 times a day, sometimes more. Everyone stands at their door until the numbers match. You learn shakedown, going cell to cell for contraband, and your first find is a shank melted out of a toothbrush. You learn what the SHU is, and you learn not to call it anything but the hole. The veterans test you before the inmates do. Most of the shift is boredom. Doors, counts, paperwork. Then for 90 seconds it isn't, and your hands are shaking after, and nobody in the break room mentions it. Level 4, the senior officer. A few years in, you're not the rookie anymore. You bid on the harder posts, the segregation unit, the mental health wing, because the pay differential helps, and because you can handle it now. You mentor the new cowboys. You work overtime you didn't sign up for, because the roster is short again, because it's always short, because hiring can't keep pace with turnover. Your wife starts sleeping through your shift change instead of waiting up. You tell yourself 16-hour days are temporary. They're not. Level 5, the sergeant. You promote. Now you run a shift of a dozen officers instead of walking a tier yourself. You write the incident reports instead of just living through them. You sit in on disciplinary hearings, watching a lieutenant decide whether a man loses 90 days of good time. You mediate between 2 guys about to fight over a debt paid in ramen. You handle your first PREA complaint, and you learn the federal paperwork that comes with it, because that standard exists for a reason, and you take it seriously even when it's slow and uncomfortable. You stop calling it a job you're doing and start calling it a job you run. Level 6, the lieutenant. Shift commander now. When something goes wrong, they call you first. You're the one who decides whether a cell extraction happens, and you're the one who signs off on the video. Your emergency response team trains for riots that mostly never come and drills for the ones that do. A fight breaks out in the yard during rec, 30 men at once, and you're the one giving the order to lock it down. You review every use of force report line by line, because a bad one ends careers, including yours. You stop flinching at things that would have put you on leave 10 years ago. You're not sure if that's strength or damage. Level 7, the captain. You're the security director for the whole facility now. Staffing is the thing you fight about in every meeting. Mandatory overtime is the norm, not the exception, and officers are burning out faster than you can replace them. You prepare the unit for an accreditation audit, walking every hallway with a clipboard, checking that policy matches practice. You negotiate with a union rep about force doubles. You sit across from the warden and tell her the honest number. You're running this place with 2/3 of the staff it was built for. Level 8, the deputy warden. Custody is yours now. Every housing unit, every shift, hundreds of officers reporting up through your chain. You investigate your own people when something goes wrong. An excessive force complaint, a smuggling ring, a relationship that crossed a line it shouldn't have. You sit through depositions when the institution gets sued over conditions, and you know some of those lawsuits have a point even as you defend the department. You manage the PREA audit personally now. You've seen the inside of a supermax control room and a legislative hearing room, and you've learned to sound calm in both. Level 9, the warden. You run the whole institution. Your name is the one that goes on the incident report the day someone dies in custody, whether or not you're on shift. You testify in front of the state legislature about your budget, your staffing crisis, your overcrowding numbers, and you give answers that are true but careful. You manage the press after an escape, a riot, a scandal, and you never once get to say how many good years the officers under you gave to keep the place standing while headquarters cut the budget again. You stop sleeping through the night. You tell yourself it's worth it. Some days you believe it. Level 10, the ghost. You retire after 30-plus years. There's a small ceremony, a plaque, a pension that's better than most people's. Your body has the bill, your back, your blood pressure, the years the research says this job takes off the average life. You've outlasted 2 marriages or held on to one by a thread. The friends who understood what you saw are scattered, retired, or gone. You still wake at 5 a.m. out of habit. You still count things without meaning to. Cars in a parking lot, people in a room. You walk the edge of your own property some nights, checking for a threat that was never there. And somewhere right now, a 22-year-old is filling out an application on a state jobs portal, clean background, no idea what the 8 weeks and the 30 years after them are going to ask of him. He thinks it's a steady job with a pension. He's not wrong. He's not entirely right either.